October 19th, 2010, Fallout New Vegas was released to an adoring fan base. Like many others, I lined up for my Xbox 360 physical copy, then ran straight home to play it. An unpopular opinion to have, but I saw little difference between New Vegas and Fallout 3, and considered the widespread copy and paste of assets as lazy. Indeed, Obsidian were so lazy they left dozens of unused assets from Fallout 3 in New Vegas. But a little thing no one really sees isn't really a flaw worth noting. To put in the months of work for a video like this, such a flaw would have to be worthy of the time spent on it. No. What I found back then was far worse than a few loose toys kicked under the rug. It is quite a tale in and of itself, so go pour yourself a drink before we begin, stranger. I hope you're ready for this. In a strange twist of luck, it was October the 23rd and a Saturday, and it was morning, sometime around 9 o'clock. This fact amused me at the time, for other than the year, according to Fallout canon, this was when the Great War happened, when the bombs fell and the world was engulfed in nuclear fire. I was, and continue to be, a massive Fallout fan. As such, I was fascinated with the lore, obsessively reading every single little scrap I could find in each game I played. I would even browse the wiki for fun in the following years. For example, did you know that the Fallout series has an intensely close relationship with water, and the absolute necessity of it in a world choked by radiation? In Fallout 1, the water chip gives out. If you fail to get another, your people die. In Fallout 2, your tribe suffers the worst drought on record. They too shall die without intervention. In Fallout 3, your father gives his life to purify the tidal basin for all people of the wasteland. Fallout 4, however, has a very different story, centered around the loss of a son and the eventual twist in what happened to him. Other than the ones the player builds, only the castle and Diamond City are in possession of water purifier. It's been 200 years. This is not enough to provide for the whole Commonwealth, and one of these purifiers is protected by a Mirelurk queen. The only other source of pure water would be Vault 81's personal supply. They must export a lot. Water purifiers are justifiably rare. So it stands to reason that only large communities with the proper resources and manpower can afford to build them. So it also stands to reason if there was already a large body of radiation-free water just there for the taking, people would not choose to remain where the water is filthy. Behold, Nevada. The water here is clean, not just some of it. All off. It is clean. No radiation, no disease, no pollution. The Colorado River, Lake Mead, and potentially all sources further north are completely clean. And that right there is our problem. A river and a lake that is completely clean in an irradiated post-apocalyptic wasteland where all natural water sources are irradiated. Do you have any idea what this means? Do you have any idea how badly Obsidian is fucked up? On that morning, when I first discovered Lake Mead, the entire Fallout lore unraveled before my very eyes. Back then, I thought it was the dam which cleaned the water and made it pure. For nearly 15 years, I secretly referred to this realization as the dam incident, and swore never to tell a soul. Not that I had anyone who would listen. But I'm getting older now. Things don't look like they'll work out. Nothing ever did, really. So I may as well tell my secret, just in case no one ever figures it out. It is, as always, actually worse than what I thought, as Hoover Dam doesn't clean anything. You see, the problem is the very river itself. It was, and is, clean, all the way to its sources up north. If even one source was irradiated, Lake Mead would be as well. 200 years before the courier somehow survives a bullet to the brain, the day after the bombs fell. Millions of people woke up to a world they could scarcely recognize. It was America, but not how they knew it. As the world was draped in nuclear fallout, and 99% of everyone on the continent was either a withering corpse or a nuclear shadow, whatever was left of America descended into hitherto unknown scales of violence. When the taps turned off, people would have butchered each other for a bottle of water, and the taps that still run poured pure poison. People wouldn't know until it was already too late. And then, the rains would come, filling every body of water that once escaped the bombs with irradiated detritus. The water, the soil, the very air they breathe was now and seemingly forevermore radioactive. You can't know where it's safe. You can't see radiation. And by the time you find out, your teeth are falling out, and your friends have fallen dead where they stand. This is ignoring the fallout, getting into trans-American wind patterns, where radioactive materials gets picked up into tornadoes and whirlwinds. Imagine a radioactive dust cloud a mile wide, traveling at several hundred kilometers per hour. It doesn't matter where you run. It doesn't matter where you hide. The fact you can see one means you're already dead. The radioactive dust will stick to everything in sight. Burning the bodies makes the problem worse. 400 million people used to live here. Now America is an inhospitable perma-hell, where death stalks every corner. But Nevada? Nevada is different to everywhere else in America, thanks to Obsidian's ignorance. Thanks to Mr. House's defense systems, the water here never got irradiated. But this shouldn't matter for Lake Mead. Lake Mead has multiple sources in several states north of it. Lake Mead can only be pure if all of those sources are pure. To say nothing of the water cycle local to the Colorado River Basin. If even one source is irradiated, Lake Mead would be as well, even if only a little. Just the sheer fact there is only one known thing in the entire wasteland that actually has clean water is enough to start several large-scale wars over. But an entire river basin? In a world where every single source of water has been irradiated and makes you sick, the very idea of a river basin of pure, clean, radiation-free water would cause a movement of people that would make the 2015 migrant crisis look like a joke. There would be endless columns of people pouring into these states to gain access to this water. But how many people exactly would that be?